Hello, stars. My name's Nick Simon. This is GG Reviews. Kinda. Yeah, so let me just bring something up. I think, August, I uploaded a teaser that says this Halloween, and it's Halloween when I upload this, and it was about the Death Note review, or me reviewing Death Note, the Netflix adaptation that that most people really didn't like. I mean, there was a joke in the review that all you have to do is look up Death Note 2017 review, and the first thing you see is a review saying it sucks. And I really do enjoy the movie. I enjoyed it over the anime. And I go into detail as to why I enjoy the movie. And I do it in the style I did for my other reviews. I just play the footage. I talk about what happens in the movie. I make jokes and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it was claimed, and not just limited ads. It wasn't yellow. It was like pure red, blocked everywhere. No one can see it. So I took it down, obviously, and I'm going through. I'm currently, of course, I'm working on the next review that comes after Death Note, because I spent a long time on that on that review, and it got immediately claimed. And I'm just like, I spent so long on it. I want people to see it. God damn it, Netflix. Your first mistake was putting out fucking cuties, and I fucking... Ugh. I tried my best to modify the footage the best I could, because long portions of it are just me talking, are me talking over the footage with the muted and stuff like that. I tried my best, but I just... So I'm currently reworking the review, re-editing all that to... make it so that the review itself can come out, so people can actually see it. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna sit in front of a camera and talk about how I feel about the movie. It's a kind of review because, again, I want to eventually have the actual review up there. Where I'm actually, in character, I guess, talking, joking, doing all that stuff. Because it's kind of boring for me to just sit here in front of here. I don't know. I find it more boring in comparison, Anyway, I'm just gonna talk about the movie. This isn't gonna be a long video, I don't think. It might be, I don't know. But yeah. So first thing, the story. Yeah, people criticize the story rightfully, which is there are a couple things that there are many things in it that don't make sense. Like L believing, like, just suddenly latching on a theory, Kira wants to kill me. He never explains why, he just thinks he does. And a part of me is like, yeah, that's a general plot hole, but also the plot kind of needs to move forward. But I'm just going all over the place. I should have come prepared with a script. I'm an idiot. Let me state this first. I'm not that big on the anime. I haven't read the manga, but I saw the anime, I watched it, and it bored the fuck out of me. I was so... and this isn't the anime's fault, but just how much people talk about Death Note and how much people kept on bringing up the anime in their reviews. And when I finally got around to watching it, I was like... I knew so much about it, and the internet basically spoiled almost all of it. Or at least up until L died, in which case people stopped caring. So it was just like I was watching, waiting for the beat. I was waiting for it to hit all the beats that everyone kept talking about now, and I was just bored out of my mind because it was like so slow. I was sitting there thinking, holy shit. It wasn't all bad. I was still moderately entertained, but it's just, Light was fucking, I don't like him. I don't like Light. Light Yagami, holy shit. And I thought fucking Troy from High School Musical was punchable. Holy shit. I saw him talk, I don't like him. I found him boring before he found the Death Note, and after he found the Death Note, holy shit, he got worse. He got so much worse, and I don't like him. The other characters were alright. Misa and L, they were alright. Ryuk was, considering Willem Dafoe's Ryuk is basically just Ryuk from the anime, but slightly more evil. Ryuk isn't as sinister as he is in the anime. or isn't as sinister as he is in the movie. You know, he's more overtly neutral, but he's still a jackass and he's still hilarious. Elle also had a pretty. Elle was delightfully creepy, but I liked him entertainment wise, but as a character, yeah, I still couldn't give a fuck because he's basically almost as bad as his character is basically almost as bad as the Light. The only difference being that he's actually working with the police and he was on the right side. Is on the side of law enforcement, people that want the Kira shit to stop. Misa, I tolerated Misa. You know, she was there, she existed. She was there, she existed. She could be funny, but you know, overall she was there. I don't know what to say. I honestly, I don't know what to say about the anime other than it's not. I don't think it's the masterpiece everyone says it is. You know, everyone keeps on building up. Oh, it's the best. It's a masterpiece. It is perfect. It's flawless and all that shit. And I'm just sitting there thinking, You know, when people hype things up, you know, I get excited, and then when I watch it, it's like, you know, people build it up here, and I'm like, now as I'm watching, you know, it's not. I mean, it's tolerable. I see why people like it. I just don't. And plus, the movie fixes or at least addresses most of the problems that I have with the anime. For one thing, I actually like Light Turner and Mia. Well, I like her for different reasons, but I like Light Turner because, you know, he's not just, you know, Light Yagami. When he finds the Death Note, he's like, should I, you know, and this is talking like source material in the anime. You know, he's just like, I can kill anyone I want. Well, let's test it out. Whereas Light in almost every other adaptation, you know, the musical, the TV drama, the movies, you know, they're like, I have the power to kill anyone. What's that? Innocent people and my dad is in trouble. Let's see if this works. You know, he goes out of his way to like, he's still testing it out. It's like, yeah, this might be ridiculous. But he's doing it with the intention of possibly saving someone. Whereas the original, he's just like, I can kill people. Why not? I'm bored. It's a Saturday. You know, whereas in this version, in Light Hero, first off, it's people kind of like this in the cinematic Venom review. He's just like, why is he killing a bully for his first kill? He shouldn't do that. Light Yagami wouldn't do that, and like, yeah, he wouldn't. Light Yagami considered killing a bully, but he's just like, no, it would trace back to me. But it's me, or you know, and Light Turner also was like, Nah, I'm good. You know, I don't want to do it. It was only until after Ryuk like provoked him. It's like, no, do it. He was like, Palpatine, do it. Do it. Yeah, but I also like that like Turner also has like a moral code. He only kills He only kills criminals and people that are actually guilty, you know. This was something of a complaint with the Kira fan site, and kind of that in general is that Kira is basically kind of extreme version of how the Japanese justice system works, where if you're accused, you're fucked. You are fucked. Prepare to go to prison, you know. Over there in Japan, it's guilty until proven innocent, which is just, you know, I don't. I mean, it probably works out, but I'm not going to pretend I know much about the legal system over there, but, you know, it's reflected kind of worse in Kira because, you know, in his eyes, you know, and plus, even it doesn't even matter if you're actually guilty. The second you're suspected, you're dead. And even if you're not guilty of anything, in his eyes, attempting to go after him or criticize him or some shit like that is worthy of going into the Death Note. As shown with Lindo Tail, by the way, fucking idiot, most brilliant mind in all of anime. Fucking, you, how dare you criticize me, bitch? I'm gonna write your name down. Oh fuck, I fucked up. Fuck. You know, he's kind of an idiot. You know. He's smart until the plot demands he be stupid. And when the plot demands he be stupid, holy shit, you know. it was like in episode 7 that one the FBI chick. She wanted she was based. She was talked as being, like, oh, she can be like a successor to Elle. She's really smart. Oh, you're a special high school student. Here, I'm gonna give you my real name, even though I know there's a killer about that needs the real name and face of people in order to kill. I'm nah, that's not suspicious at all. By the way, I'm Kira. Fuck. It's just Light is only really smart because the people around him are fucking idiots. And then there's after episode 25 when Elle dies, which, by the way, worst decision ever. If someone didn't get fired, if one of the writers didn't get fired for that, I'd be fucking surprised. Apparently the writing went down the shitter, and I didn't watch it because I just well, you killed half of the conflict, so I think I'm done watching. I just got reminded of something from the musical. Death Note had a musical. How about that shit? It wasn't that bad. They're like, even Ryuk is like, after Light successfully kills out, it's like, yes, I won, I'm the victor, and Ryuk's like, now it's gonna get boring because you have no one to oppose. I'm just gonna kill you now. Which is like, I wonder if that was like, almost a fandom nod. It's like, oh, you think Death Note's boring because we killed Al? Hey, so do we! Speaking of L, I actually really liked him in this movie. I mean, I actually am able to appreciate him more as a character because he actually has more human-like qualities that I'm able to connect to, and that's kind of what's important to me. If you want me to watch and get invested in what these characters are thinking, get me to care about them as characters, and a character can be entertaining, but I also don't give a shit about them. I mean, I like L as a piece of entertainment, but as a character, I don't. Death Note 2017 hit that version of L played wonderfully by Lakeith Stanfield. Seriously, he's great. He actually had something of a humanity to him. And people, I saw this on the TV Trope page for Death Note. People found it weird that L was getting so emotional after Watari died. But in this version, it seems that L and Watari are a lot closer. And plus, when Watari died in other media, it's because in this version, he still has the case to solve. And he still has the case to solve. In the anime, L and Watari die around the same time, and in the movies, and in the movies, Death Note: The Last Name, Light dies, and essentially ending the Kira case, but Light and L die, which essentially ends the Kira case, and I think Watari survives in that version. I'm not sure. I might have to look it up later. And in the musical, Watari doesn't exist, so he's a lot more emotionally vulnerable because there's still a case to solve, but he doesn't really have time to process and grieve. In other versions, there wasn't a case to solve; it was basically over. But here, there's still a case to solve, and he can't really process that. And Mia. Then there's the topic of Mia. People aren't fond of this version because she's actually smart and competent, where in the original she was like all devoted to Light. But when you really think about it, Misa was that too. She could be smart. It's just that once she actually found Light and fell in love with him, because she's the guy that I think because she killed the guy that killed her parents or something like that. She completely, like most of her higher functions, I guess, just shut off and was like, I'm devoted to you now, and forget everything else, nothing else matters. And plus, she was also the only other person that could actually confirm and tell Light to his face, I know you're Kira. She did have the Shinigami eyes, but she did figure it out. Just by looking up his information online when the internet was still in its infancy. She was able to figure all that out just from his name. His address and stuff like that, just from the name alone, at a point in time when the internet was in its infancy, which is impressive. So this version of Misa is basically the original. So Mia is basically Misa without the crazy love obsession. And Mia is also while both she has shades of Misa, she's more essentially the more villainous and sociopathic side of Light Yagami. The director Adam Wingard confirmed that the movie is it's one thing. It's almost like an origin story. Light starts in the movie, naive, optimistic, hopeful, and he ends the movie in a place where the manga would begin. And also that, he Light Turner essentially grows into a character that resembles Light Yagami more. And given the plan that he concocts at the end of the movie, yeah, that's definitely some Light Yagami shit. And even then, something similar was performed in the manga, where after Light temporarily gives up the Death Note, he loses his memories, and because there was a second Kira at the time, he was able to essentially. It was essentially the same principle as the coma plan. Someone else was acting as Kira when he was in the police station being monitored because he genuinely didn't know. Because he was in a situation where he was being monitored at all times, he couldn't do much as Kira, and Kira killings were still happening. So that's essentially the same principle. The only difference being that that Turner was in a coma, and Yagami was just without his memories and was just sitting in a police holding cell. But back to what I was saying, Death Note 2017 is essentially one of the main conflicts is Light Turner versus is kind of like Light Turner versus the good side of Light Yagami versus the Kira, essentially. It's essentially a battle between the two sides of Kira and which one will reign victorious. And of course, as you all know, if you've seen the movie, Light, the good side, wins. Of course, and I like that. I think it's cool. I mean, there, like I said, there are definitely some things not to like. For one thing, while I love the movie for its quick pacing, this film is not boring. That's one thing. That's one thing I think everyone can admit. It's not boring at all. It just keeps moving and moving and moving, never slowing down. But that's also kind of the problem. That it never slows down. It just keeps moving. So there really isn't much time for character development. I like all the characters fine as they are, but. It would have been a little bit nice to have fleshed some things out. And then, like I said, L suddenly latching onto the idea, oh, Kira must want to kill me. It's never really explained why he thinks that. Of course, maybe there's some weird roundabout bullshit going on in his brain that makes him think, oh, he must want to kill me. But, while I respect that they got rid of the Lindell Taylor scene and which was the big scene that not only confirmed where Kira was, and that he needs a name and a face to kill, and that he's more than willing to kill law enforcement. I kind of like that information is kind of spread out over multiple subtle details, and that's another thing I respect about this movie. There's no one. Well, there are some moments where it's big impact twists, but most of the most of the things. The film, they're not big things, it's all smaller things that eventually add up to the bigger picture. So this movie is kind of one of those things where you have to watch it multiple times in order to truly let it click in. Once you know where everything is going, it just all makes sense. Like that scene where Light goes home and talks to Ryuk, and he's like, "Why'd you kill the FBI agents?" Oh, what do you think? Oh. And even says, he's like, since the Death Note is causing such little stripes to you and your girlfriend, here, let me take it, and I'll take it off your backs. That seems like that's a very un-Ryuk thing to do, and it is. Of course, later in that scene, he's like, you fuck with me again, I'm going to put your name in it. No, you can try, but there are 4 letters in my name, but the most anyone's ever gotten were 2. That's basically him saying that, and because everyone knows that the first rule of the Death Note is the human whose name is written in this note shall die. And Ryuk obviously isn't human, so that's basically the telltale sign of Ryuk is fucking with Light here, and plus with the knowledge that, and plus Ryuk sat at the Ferris wheel, at the Ferris wheel that I like this one Light. She has wonderful ideas. Ryuk likes Mia more, and that scene in the house was basically his way. Is basically him fucking with Light and trying to give him to give up the Death Note so he can give it to Mia because Ryuk and I assume other Shinigami in this universe are the ones dealing out the deaths. He prefers Mia because it means he gets to kill more because she's killing more people. She has less moral restrictions because she's the worst side of Light. It's this movie, for all of its really fucking stupid moments, it can be really, really smart when it's able to. This movie is really smart, but that's kind of a weird thing about this movie. It's either really, really dumb or really, really smart. It's either really dumb or really smart. There is no in between. There is no in between. It's either dumb or really smart. How long am I recording for? Oh, 20 minutes. Wow. I couldn't tell because it was just I'm probably just gonna cut this out. But yeah. I genuinely enjoy the movie, and even if it's technically, and also while there are some other dumb things like the music choices, yeah, they're weird, but at the same time, the movie also has a bitchin' soundtrack. The power of love over the credits. Holy shit! That was the single greatest fucking decision ever. Like, I don't care what anyone says, that was a stroke of genius. That song's awesome, and plus it was just great. I'm not trying to say that you have to like this movie, but whenever I see people like bring up, oh, this movie sucks, I'm thinking, oh wow, people are still bitching, really? It's one of those things where it's like, did you even watch the movie? Did we watch them? I just want to enjoy a movie, and I'm the kind of guy that's like, I'm willing to ignore problems in any and all problems in a piece of media, movie, video games, or art. If I had a good time, and Death Note on Netflix gave me a good time. That's what happened. I enjoy the movie as a piece of entertainment, and that's what I got. I was sufficiently entertained in a way that the source material, the anime, or in the way the anime couldn't provide. Death Note, the anime, didn't entertain me, but Death Note on Netflix did. And it's just simple as that. I watched to be entertained, and I was entertained. It's simple as that. Can't wait for the comments of this video to be fucking ballistic at me. It's like, you're some bullshit like, you're wrong, Death Note, Netflix sucks, and fuck you, and all that shit. But these are just my opinions. I personally like the movie over the anime. And also, I'm still going to be trying to work toward, like I said, I'm still going to be trying to work towards getting the actual review. This is just a kind of review. I'm still trying to do my best to work towards actually getting the Death Note review out, but it's going to take me some time. Plus, I have another review in the works that will be coming out when I say it. But yeah, so this is just kind of a holdover, I guess. But, yeah. With all that being said, my name is Simon, and hope you all take care and be civil, alright? When discussing shit like this, just try to be civil, okay? Alright. Take care, everyone.